Hello everyone. This is our Q&A discussion video where each and every day we go through and just ask each other some questions related to health coach. And yeah, so today you're here with me and I'm ready to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Hi.
Okay. So obviously you're a health coach, which is the
How's that obvious?
purpose of this purpose of this channel here. And
Exactly.
so I want to ask you some questions regarding that and kind of what led you. So I guess my first question is, what led you to become a health coach? I know you've gone through some things in your past that kind of motivated you to help other people, and kind of what are those things? Can you?
Of course. Well, first of all, there's so much misinformation out there. So it was my goal at the beginning. I've been helping people without a certification for years. I used to do something I called food tours, where I would take people into the produce department of most groceries and kind of teach them about the power of food. But the way I came across a lot of that information is about 20 years ago. I actually was a cancer survivor for the second time. And so my second time with cancer, I really decided that I needed to get some information that maybe I didn't have. Our bodies are made a certain way, and they really work best on certain fuel. And so the more I spent time learning about that, the more I realized I was really not fueling my body. I was filling the gut, filling my void, but when I was hungry, I wasn't really thinking about the choices I was making. I was thinking more about my taste buds and what my taste buds wanted.
As we all do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of one of the things that that struck me as being interesting. And so my love for nutrition sort of started about 20 years ago. And from there, I definitely saw a difference in my own health. And when you see something that works, you want to share it with others. So it's kind of what took me out of my executive level job and to, full-time certified health coach.
I can definitely see that because I feel like I could understand how difficult going through cancer is. I know that'd be a great motivation to get back on the right foot and not to go through it for a third time. So you've kind of have a brand going on here, and I wanted to know what kind of led you to the title of your brand. What did you like? What were you thinking, and what was your brainstorming process when you're looking for a name, and what pushed you for the conclusion of the name?
All right, good question. Actually, I wanted something catchy, because catchy is always good when you're talking marketing, but I didn't really want it to, be so catchy that it didn't say what I did. And I wanted my name to actually represent what I actually do.
Right.
And so not just a health coach, but a whole food health coach. So my goal is whole food nutrition because I believe that that's where the majority of our nutrients come from. So I really teach nutrient dense foods, and I help my clients to choose nutrient density based on what their body systems need, because people are sadly very, very sick. And so I try to pair foods with illnesses. Like most people have a lot of inflammation in their body. And so when I talk about inflammation, I'm always choosing anti-inflammatory foods. When people think of anti-inflammatories, they immediately think of a bottle with pills in it. And that is one way to deal with inflammation, but it's, in my opinion, one of the worst ways and one of the most expensive ways. Why buy the medicine and the food? Why not just buy the food that's got great medicine in it so that your body can correct those issues that it has on its own? So I wanted the name to say I teach whole food nutrition and I'm certified.
So you mentioned when you're discussing kind of what led you to this, you mentioned something that kind of, so you said that there's a lot of misconceptions about food. I just want to know, like maybe two or three. What are the biggest misconceptions in all of health coaching that you've kind of been through?
Okay, gosh, there's so many. It's hard for me. I wanted to talk about carbs and fats, but maybe that's for another day. I will say that the majority of the misconception is what is in boxes, bags, jars, cans that people are not aware of. And I know that convenience food or fast food, whether it's convenience in, a box with a drive-through attached to it, or whether it's in a box that's on your shelf, most people are not aware of the kinds of chemicals that they're eating every day. In fact, I did a pantry makeover for a guy and his wife, and I actually have an app on my phone that I love to use, and I use it a lot with teenagers because it helps them to participate in the pantry makeover process. But this was just a man and his wife, and we were going through their pantry, and I was really shocked, honestly, of all of the stuff that we were throwing away. or giving away because of all the artificial chemicals and foods that were in it. And they were both drastically ill, both seeing doctors, both on a myriad of medications that they really wouldn't have needed to be on if their body systems were able to be stronger. So what we did was we went through their whole pantry, and there was very little left that they could keep. I always say my pantry makeovers are not for the faint of heart. So he sat on the floor with the little app, and he said to me, I had no idea we had so much non-food. And I loved that saying. So I guess that's one of the main things that is a misconception, that those chemicals in your food really are affecting your body, and they definitely affect our children's bodies and brains. So one of the misconceptions is it doesn't really matter, and another misconception, I think one that I find more often than not, is the amount of food that your body actually needs. Because the majority, especially women, because girls are always on a diet of some sort, and they don't really realize that what they're doing is they're harming their body for long-term weight gain by not eating properly and not eating the right amounts of foods. Our bodies really require a certain amount of food. It's just simple. But unfortunately, when you're dieting constantly, you're not eating, you're creating insulin issues, and you're also creating a situation within your body systems that is going to make you gain weight over the long term, and you'll just keep gaining.
So as I mentioned before, you really have a brand going here, and I wanted to know, what are some of your future plans or goals even for what you're doing? Like, what more do you want to do than what you're doing already?
Well, this is something new for me, obviously, being more on electronic format, teaching for free, because people do pay me to do what I do, and I enjoy that too. So my individual coaching, my one-on-one coaching, I've gotten busy enough that it's really hard for me to keep up with my one-on-one. So I figure if I can really get the message out there, or at least stir up some discussion about it, then by using this particular format. So I hope to kind of broaden my audience with this format. But there's a lot of things. I always have a list. I do corporate wellness, and I do smart shopping trips, and I definitely love my one-on-one coaching and small group. And now that I'm master certified, I can actually help people with eating disorders and some other issues that are a little bit deeper. And sometimes they just need to partner with somebody who cares about them. So it's, I guess what I'm doing with the brand is continuing the education of whole food health and the choices that people make, and I'm just kind of broadening my audience through Q&As and through your help.
One last question, and you have plenty of social media, and there's so many ways people can get to you. What do you find is the most common place that people find you, and where you get most of your clients from?
Oh, good question. Actually, it's usually at my classes, because I teach the 2-hour nutrition class, and I also teach a primetime health class for people who want to correct body systems, like, they have cholesterol issues or blood pressure issues or diabetic clients. And so they tend to want to find some answers that don't come in the bottle, like I mentioned. And a lot of times they just Google me or Google health coaches. I am a Dr. Sears wellness health coach, and I do appreciate Dr. William Sears because he's 45 years as a pediatrician. So my credentials are very real, not like people who just sell a product and call themselves a coach. I actually went through school, lots of training, and lots of expertise because I've been doing it for 3 years. So I guess my one-on-one clients would come from those classes. Okay. The other is really referral. The people who have already had success, and so they reach out to me because they've already, because a friend of theirs or a relative of theirs got some success, and so they give them my name.
Awesome,
love that.
Well, it was great talking to you today. Kind of figure out more about really what you do and really dive deeper in. I'm sure we'll have more topics that go way more into these kind of things in the future.
Sure. And I'm certainly open to audience.
Any questions you have, leave in the comments below, and we will probably have a separate playlist where we will answer a lot of questions that are commonly asked, and we'll go deep down the rabbit hole with those. And so it was great talking to you today.
Thank you.
Great having you guys here to watch as well. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Until next time.
The Whole Food Health Coach, Stephanie Wolf, out.